Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is introduction of forestry. I would like to introduce what is forestry. Forestry has tremendous scope in India due to increasing pressure of soiling, human and livestock populations, shrinking per capita availability of land, deteriorating quality of soil and water resources, shortage of fuel wood, fodder, timber, and other tree-based products. Various kinds of pollutions such as soil, air, water, greenhouse effect, etc. are threatening the balance of ecosystem. Trees have tremendous potential not only to control these pollutions but also to prevent degradation of natural resources. The paramount of importance placed on trees is not merely due to their beneficial effects on environment but also due to their ability to meet basic multiple needs of the people. Historical background of forest. Forest is a distinctive association of plant communities. This vegetation is developed and arranged in accordance with definite biological laws. They came into being with the combined action, reaction, and coaction of a variety of organisms with the complex factors of habitat. As these factors change over space and time, forests too change in character. The word forest is derived from Latin word foris. Foris meaning outside. That is, it is from outside where the inhabitants are living. As such, forests are areas covering uncultivated and unattended extensive stretches of lands covered with tall and dense tree growth. Generally, areas set aside for the production of timber and other forest produce, which is under woody vegetation, are called forests. The first land plant in India appeared in Silurian period, primary or Paleozoic era, about 400 to 480 million years ago. Over the next 100 million years, nature helped it to evolve into various genesis and species. History of Indian forests is closely linked with political history. The epics Ramayana and Mahabharata give an attractive description of forests. Dandakarna, Khandavarna, and Nandavana came from them. Ancient Hindu culture is said to have evolved in Aranyas. Literature shows the level of significance the forest had the cultural life of people. Given below is a brief historical perspective of forest trees in India. Vedic period. The Indus Valley civilization as early as 2000 BC existed in harmony with thick forest and wildlife. The Indo-Aryans of the Vedic period frequently made innovations to forest and an entire hymn or Rig Veda is devoted to praise of plants. In the Vedic period, the nature of a relation between man and trees was founded on the solid rock of religion. Tree worship started in Vedic period is still prevailing in India and saved the trees from destruction of a long time. Jainism and Buddhism. Gautama Buddha was born under an Asoka tree, received enlightenment under Ficus religiosa, that is people tree, preached his new religion in a mango grove and under Sadi, Ficus bengalensis, banyan tree, Bargad, and died in a Surya robusta sal tree, a grove. Thus, all these trees became sacred and were worshipped by people. Similarly, we find references of primeval forests like Advana of Koshal, Sitavan of Magadha, Paisinovans of Sakya territory, bamboo groves belonging to Magadha kings, Anjanavan of Shaketa and Jatvana of Savanti, established during Jainism regime. During the regime of Chandragupta Maurya, there was a superintendent of forests to protect the forests. Gupta period, The Van Mahotsav and Shal Bhanjika Utsav were celebrated with great enthusiasm. Four types of garden, forest, Pramod Van, Udyan Van, Brikshvatika and Nandavanan were famous during this period. During 7th century AD, there was a description of forest conservation. There are reports that jealous foresters violently seized the access of trespassing woodcutters. In the same way, sources pertaining to 10th and 11th centuries AD certified that kings encouraged forestry in their precincts and on the top and slopes of hills and ordered preservation of seeds of all kinds of trees. Islamic Advent Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq and Sher Shah Suri declared many forest areas reserved in order to provide hunting grounds to the royalty. During this period, a large number of fruit and ornamental trees were planted. Akbar assigned great importance to planting of trees along canals and roads. It is documented that there were thick forests in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and South India. Many protected parks were preserved by Islamic rulers. Noble being Bari, Hishar, Shunam, Bhatinda, Batwar, Jahangirabad, and Jalalabad in North India. British India. The first step in Indian forestry began in 1800 when a commission was appointed to inquire into the conditions of Malabar forests. Regulations prohibiting felling of teak were introduced. In 1806, Captain Watson was appointed as the first conservator of forest in India. In 1855, Lord Dalhousie promulgated the Chapter of Indian Forests. This was modified in 1878 and a forest policy resolution was passed in 1894. Protection was extended to many forests. In 1906, Imperial Forest Research Institute was established at Dehradun, but during the World War I, use of forest resources for war purposes gave a big jolt to Indian forest conservation. At the end of World War II, Inspector General of Forests came out with a note on the post-war forest policy to improve forest conditions by involving large-scale plantation activity. There are some important landmarks in the history of Indian forest. Appointment of Dr. D. Brandis as the first Inspector General of Forest in 1864 is an important landmark. Other major landmarks are indicated below. Ramayana Mahabharata 1000 to 700 BC, excellent account of forest, Dandakaranya, Khandav 1, Nandavan. Modern period 321 to 180 BC, first historical evidence of organized forest administration, planting of trees along roadsides and campsites. Mughal period 1526 to 1707 AD, emphasis on reclaiming forest for agriculture, a policy of indifference towards forest conservation. 1800, British government appointed a commissioner to access the availability of teak in Malabar coast, heavy destruction due to European demands. 1806 AD, first conservator of forest appointed basically to organize timber supply from west to Europe. 1842 AD, first teak plantation raised in Nilambur. 1855 AD, British Indian government issued memorandum outlisting rules for forest conservation in the country. 1864 AD, Dr. D. Brandis appointed as first Inspector General of Forest. 1865 AD, first Indian Forest Act was drafted. 1878 AD, forest classified as reserve and protected. 1887 AD, Wild Bird Protection Act enacted. 1906 AD, Imperial Forest Research Institute established in Dehradun. 1910 AD, Board of Forestry created it at national level. 1912, Wildlife, Birds and Animals Act enacted. 1914 to 1918 AD, First World War, heavy destruction of forest due to supply of timber and charcoal in troops. 1921 AD, National Charter of Forest Administration diluted as forests became provincial subjects. 1927 AD, Indian Forest Act 1927 enacted. 1935 AD, Wildlife, Birds and Animals Amendment Act passed. 1944 AD, Second World War, heavy destruction of forest due to demand for defense purpose. 1972 AD, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 enacted. 1976 AD, Protection and Improvement of Projects made one of the directive principles of the Constitution of India. Forest brought in the concurrent list restoration of national character of forest after a lapse of 55 years. 1980 AD, Forest Conservation Act 1980 passed. None can deforest without prior permission of central government. Felling in national forest banned. 1986 AD, Wildlife Protection Amendment Act enacted. Trade in animal and in animal articles prohibited. 1987 AD, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act passed. 1991 AD, Wildlife Protection Amendment Act 1991 passed. Scheduled plants were given protection and commercial felling in wildlife sanctuaries banned. 1992 AD, National Conservation Strategy 1992 formulated. 1993 AD, Environment Action Plan 1993 formulated. Importance of forests. Trees have tremendous potential not only to control soil, water and air pollution and greenhouse effect but also to improve the balance of oxygen, conserve soil, water, air and biodiversity besides preventing degradation of natural resources. The paramount importance placed on trees is not merely due to their beneficial effects on the environment but also due to their ability to meet basic multiple needs of the people. The multifarious benefits derived from the trees by people can be placed broadly under the following subheads: environmental conservation, watershed management, soil conservation, nutrient conservation and release, microclimate amelioration, microclimate modifications, moderation of climate, biodiversity conservation, organic matter addition, biological nitrogen fixation, inception of rainfall, flood control, human health, recreation. Environmental conservation, watershed management. It is an approach for area planning based on conservation of natural resources, especially land, water, and plants. To meet social economic needs of human society, degraded lands can only be improved through environmental conservation, which controls erosion, reduces runoff, improves in situ soil moisture conservation, increases water table, and improves the soil productivity. Environmental conservation includes the following: soil conservation, potential of trees in checking runoff and soil layers in high and low rainfall areas has been well documented. Association of trees with crops could control 73% runoff and 91% soil loss compared to bare plot under Jhansi conditions. Similar reduction in runoff has been observed when bamboo was grown with grass compared to shifting cultivation. Sloping agricultural and technology has been developed for erosion control in hilly areas. This involves establishing barrier hedges, grasses and trees on conservation structures, trees on terrace risers and yellow cropping with Leucaena, Glycidia, Flamingia, etc. Nutrient conservation. Recycling of nutrients through the litter keeps the soil highly fertile. Nutrient release through litter decomposition and fine root decay of trees keeps the soil more fertile, assuring sustainable supply of nutrients. Leguminous trees have higher capacity of mineralization, which is governed by precipitation. Reforestation of grassland reduces soil temperature during day and increase litter supply, providing favorable environment to soil and fauna and increase their number of biomass and species composition. This accelerates fast decomposition of leaf litter and nutrient turnover rates. Microclimate emulation. Trees, due to their canopy architecture, shade and densely help in reducing temperature extremes of environment and surface soil due to reduction in radiation, decrease in light intensity due to shading of trees, increases relative humidity. This favors soil moisture conservation and better soil organic matter content due to optimum microbial activity. Decrease in temperature under tree canopies compared to grassland during day will be around 3 to 5 degrees centigrade. Microclimate modification deforestation is blamed for decrease in rainfall in the recent past. Quantity, number of wet months and rainy days. Forests are the main component of global carbon cycle through regulation of carbon fluxes and pools and contribute little to global warming. It is hoped that large-scale adaptation of forest management options which conserve and sequester C is necessary for sustainable development and arrest global warming and climate change. Association of trees with arable farming practices has greatest potential for carbon sequestration. Moderation of climate, large-scale deforestation is one of the major causes for increase in carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. Global climate is expected to become warmer in near future due to increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Similarly, there will be rise in sea level 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Such changes will have serious repercussions. Forestry has potential to moderate such climate change by storing the fixed carbon for a long time in wood and thus following the depletion of ozone layer. Biodiversity conservation. Single species plantation deplete biodiversity compared to mixed culture of forest and agriculture. Forestry innovations contribute to biodiversity conservation through integrated conservation development approach. Forest degradation has caused immense loss to biodiversity, which can be conserved through agroforestry by adopting a strategy of conservation through use. It has been found that under agroforestry systems, earthworm population was larger than in control, showing complementarity of the system and its role in encouraging soil biodiversity. Organic matter addition. Accumulation of soil organic matter under trees is the most commonly reported effect of the trees. Soil organic matter brings about important changes in soil physical and chemical properties. Decrease in soil bulk density due to soil organic matter improves soil aeration and hydraulic conductivity by improving water infiltration into the soil. Soil organic matter improves the CEC of soil for nutrient retention and release. The age-old practice of shifting cultivation improves soil organic matter content and restores good physical and chemical composition of the soil. Biological nitrogen fixation. Many forest trees, especially belonging to leguminaceae, can fix dinitrogen through symbiotic association with rhizobium or Frankia. Many other species promote fixation of nitrogen by free-living bacteria within their rhizosphere. Use of nitrogen fixing trees in agroforestry significantly reduces the fertilizer nitrogen needs of component crops. Precipitation. It is believed in India that forests increase precipitation. Forest acts as barriers across horizontal path of wind, causing more rainfall. Obstruction to wind movement by forest causes ascending wind current to control the air and formation of clouds during the precipitation. Trees help interception of tree rainfall, thus reducing soil and water erosion, particularly in high intensity rainfall areas. Leaf litter on soil surface aids in minimizing direct impact of raindrop on soil practices and in reducing the velocity of runoff. Improvement in groundwater quality has also been reported in specific situations. Flood control. Forests play a vital role in flood control through their influence on evaporative demand of the foliage. Intercession of rainfall and foliage increasing infiltration of water deep into the soil, decreasing the surface runoff and improving soil conditions ideal for building underground water resources. As such, mass-scale afforestation of catchments has been advocated. Human health. Forests filter large quantities of dust particles suspended in the air and thus make it less harmful to human and animal population. It's very important role of the forest for human beings. Reduction in wind velocity by the forest increases dust precipitation. Forests offer protection against carbon dioxide released by combustion during the photosynthesis. Forest foliage utilizes huge quantities of carbon dioxide and release oxygen for use by all the living organisms in the universe. Forests are the major source for medicinal plants to cure the disease of mankind. Recreation forests are the center of recreation in almost all the countries. Urban population prefers to go forest for hunting used to be a common program from ancient times. Apart from these, forests exert certain fascination on humans watching flying birds with their delightful colors and songs. Importance of trees. The importance of forest trees and multi-purpose tree species (MPTs) is increasing due to deforestation and land degradation. Pollution and environmental hazards. These trees, when planted outside forested areas, provide fuel, wood, fodder, fiber, timber, oil seeds, edible pods, tannins, dyes, gums, shelter, shade, etc., and a regular source of income to the farming community. The multifarious benefits derived from the trees by the people can be placed broadly as indicated below. Products for daily consumption: food, fuel, wood, fiber, fodder, small timber, mulch. Products for income generation: wood, sap, pulp, resin, gums, tannins, pharmaceuticals. Environmental benefits: soil and water conservation, clean air, fixation of nitrogen, shade protection, live hedges, shelter wells, climate moderation, rain inducement, etc. Fodder. Several tree species are available for meeting fodder needs of livestock. Some are used regularly cut for fodder and others are harvested for some fodder, while the main focus is timber on the minor products. Trees for fodder hedges. The following tree species can be established as fodder hedges by close planting in rows and managed as bushes by cutting the main stem at a convenient height of 1 to 2 meter. Leucaena, Leucocephala, Gladstidia, Sapium, Desmanthus variegatus, Calendra colothyrus, Albizia amara, Pythosobium dulci, Sesbania, Sesban. These plants grow vigorously after cutting the shoots at intervals of 30 to 60 days depending on the season, soil fertility and soil moisture availability. Species like Leucaena can be managed for 15 to 20 years, while others up to 8 to 10 years. Species like Desvania and Desmanthus lose their vigor in about 3 to 4 years. Lopping side branches for fodder. Many tree species are not used for harvesting fodder regularly, but their foliage is browsed by livestock. Such species can be managed to harvest some fodder, while the main focus remains on production of timber and other minor produce. However, due to high value of produce as poles, timber, fruits, and oil seeds, it may be uneconomical to maintain such species exclusively for fodder. As such, it is preferable to maintain them for poles and other uses while lopping side branches for fodder. Important species for lopping fodder in tropics are Albizia liebeck, Albizia Falcateria, Albizia procera, Albizia amara, Mahonia purpurea, Gladstidia sapium, Leucaena leucocephala, Dalbergia sessu, Hardwickia vignata, Ailanthus excelsa, Erythrina indica, Leucaena diversifolia, Sesbania grandiflora, Sesbania session, Pythosobium dulci, and Prosopis cinerea. Edible foods. Pods and fruits from trees are highly portable and can substitute the concentrate feed. Some of the plant species which produce edible pods are Prosopis juliflora, Acacia nilotica, Albizia summum, Pythosobium dulci, and Parkia speciosa. A well-managed Prosopis juliflora plantation can yield up to 5 tons per hectare of pods every year. These pods can be used as human and cattle feed. In countries like Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Mexico, these pods are used for making biscuits, ice creams, etc. Leucaena seeds can be crushed and used as cattle feed. Sesbania and other legumes are rich in protein and make good feed for cattle. Pod collection from trees is economically viable if trees are available in plenty. Oilseed trees with oil seeds are Mahua, Neem, Kusum, Rohini, Chiura, Bilwa, Amla, Bhera, and Har. Species like neem, mahua, rohini, kanji, and chirua find important place in the life of rural people. Oils of these species have been found suitable for different purposes in soap, paint, and other industries. Neem, Ajati Recta indica, neem trees are found along roads in villages, watersheds, and in certain forest areas in the form of plantation. Actual production of oil is 50% of potential production due to lack of organized collection of seed. The seed contains 45% of oil, which is mixed with other oils for making washing soap. Many Ayurvedic medicines are made from seed and oil. Mahua Madhuka indica it is a tree of dry region forest and is also planted along roadsides. Scattered trees are found in cultivated fields throughout the Bundelkhand region. Seed oil is known as Mahua butter. Oil content varies from 33 to 43% of the kernel weight. Actual oil production is less than its potential production. The oil is used for making soap and also for cooking. Rohini Melotus philippensis. It is one of the widely distributed trees in UP alone. Around 1 lakh trees of 30 centimeter diameter are known to be available. The kernel contains about 35% oil. Its oil is largely used in making quick drying paint. It is also used in hair fixes and ointments. Congo Pongamia pinnata. Oil content of the seed is 30%. The yellow oil is used as an antiseptic and for illumination in rural areas. Due to its aromatic smell, the oil is used in soap industry. Maximum use of the oil is in tanning industry. Kusum Sclicera oleosa. The tree is found in sub-Himalayan tract and in Tarai belt. The kernel contains 57% of oil suitable for soap making. Fuel wood. List of good fuel wood trees is given below. Acacia catechu, Acacia italica, Acacia nilotica, Acacia tortilis, Albizia species, Acacia siamia, Acacia ecusitifolia, Chloros hylan, Swetiana, Dalbergia sisu, Eucalyptus species, Heritaria minor, Lagestomia parviflora, Meshua feria, Phaethoslobium dulci, Prosopis juliflora, Quercus species, Syzygium cumnai, Tamarindus indica, Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia tamontacea, Xylia xylocarpa. Fiber. Brief description of most common fiber species is given below. Ciba pentandra, commonly known as copac. The floss of this tree is known as silk cotton. Pods from which the floss is obtained are plucked from the trees before they are ready to burst open. Floss is taken out with the seed and dried in sun. Yield of floss increases with age till the tree attains maturity. Bombay Ciba, commonly known as semal, the floss from this tree is known as Indian kapok. Floss is obtained from the capsule, which is in no way inferior to other forms of kopak. It is soft, strong, and may be used for life-saving appliances at sea. Colotrapus gigantea. It largely occurs in parts of sub-Himalayan, central India, and drier parts of South India. Floss is the form of fine, soft, glossy silk. It is widely used for stuffing of pillows and mattresses. Cocos nucifera, coir fiber obtained from coconut, is widely used all over bird for mats, brushes, ropes, etc. It is not true floss or a bast fiber and is obtained from the thick fibrous husk of the coconut. The following is a list of common species used for fiber making in cottage industries. Abroma augusta, Antares toxicaria, Cannabis sativa, Malcaria capitata, Esterculia urinus, Abolition species, Boherbia navia, Cordia rothsai, Phornium tenax, Temenda innocentia, Agaps, Salana, Borassus, Flabilifer, Grevia elastica, Sespenia, Bispinosa, Trema orientalis. Bags occurs in the epidermis of leaves and fruits of some selected trees. They prevent excessive loss of water through transpiration. Bags may be extracted from trees such as Euphorbia species, Melia jadirect, Rus sescendia, and Sepium sebiferum. Tannins. Tannin is not a single compound but a generic name given to a large class of organic compounds which have varying chemical composition but have one common property, that their action on animal skins brings about changes which make the skin resistant to decomposition, flexible, strong, and improves in bearing qualities. Some of the tannin yielding species given in table 1.1. You see, these are the different forest species which yield tannins. Dyes, wood dyes extracted from wood of trees or shrubs, Brazilian dyes, Kutch dyes, Artocarpus dyes, bark dyes, flower and fruit dyes, root dyes, and leaf dyes. Gums and resins. Gums are a group of plant products related to sugars and carbohydrates and comprised of polysaccharides or their derivatives. True gums may be formed as a result of decomposition of internal plant tissue, mainly cellulose, through a process termed gummosis. Gums are largely soluble in water but insoluble in solvents like alcohol and ether. Complete decomposition occurs in heating. Natural gums are commercially extracted from plants in liquid form, which on exposure may dry up into amorphous, translucent, near tear-shaped bodies or flakes. Gum arabica is extracted from a number of genus Acacia, mainly Acacia senegal. Gums are also derived from Estercolia uranus, Estercolia bellosa, Bombyx and Moringa oleifera. Resins occur in special cavities or passages in a wide variety of species. They may be collected on commercial scale by artificial wounds on tree trunks. They are insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents like ether and alcohol. Prominent Indian gums and resins are given in table 1.2. See, these are the true gums, hard resins, oleoresins, gum resins species. Basic terms used in forestry. These are the terms: block plantation, canopy, canopy density, cartographic limit, change matrix, crown area, cultivable non-forest area, CNFA, digital image processing, error matrix, confusion matrix, false color, composite, form forestry, forest area, forest blank, forest cover, forest inventory, forest type, geographic information system, GIS, green bus, green stock, hill stock, and so on. These are the terms generally used in forest. So you should read it carefully and learn it properly. Silviculture. Silviculture is a production system like agriculture for arable crops and horticulture for plantation and vegetable crops. Silviculture is basic tool for forest management. Forestry is anything done in the forest and silviculture is anything done in the forest. Then to the forest. Definition: silviculture is defined as that segment of forestry program which addresses the art and science of controlling the establishment, growth, composition, health and quality of forest and woodlands to meet the diverse needs and values on Indian trust lands on a sustainable basis. Silviculture encompasses planning and diverse investing in future resources by manipulating existing land stands, which either intentionally unintentionally or unintentionally have become established in a given species composition and spacing because of historical reasons in order to meet some future subjects. So you should read what is Selvix and silvicultural systems and so on, and you should also know the policy. So this is all about the introduction of forest. Thank you for patient sharing.